Ah, the Jeep Wrangler, the Harley Davidson of four-wheeled vehicles. It just oozes America. In fact, we built these things for war. What's more American than that? And while most people who buy these things aren't going to push it to its limits, it's not really about that. The Wrangler is more about freedom and fun instead of, well, you know, rock crawling. Sure, you could do that, but you're not going to. But now you can take a Wrangler rock crawling or into the wilds of the outback in almost complete silence. And that's thanks to the new 2021 Wrangler 4xE. The E stands for electricity. Before you start groaning into your Fox shocks about, oh, it's an electric, it's not a real Jeep. This vehicle right here will do 95% of what any Jeep owner will throw at it. It's got 10.8 inches of ground clearance. It's got a 4x4 transfer case, so you can do them high and low, just like a regular Jeep. It's actually trail rated. Look, they have the badge right here. Could they put that there if it wasn't trail rated? I don't know, probably. They probably could, but it's there anyway. It'll ford through 30 inches of water. So 10.8 inches of ground clearance, 30 inches of water. It's gonna be fine. You're not gonna have any problems doing Jeep things. Under the hood is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, turbocharged engine, and that is coupled with 2 electric motors. One acts as a generator, one sits between the transmission and the engine, and the benefit of all that is 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. It has an 8-speed transmission. It has a lot of power because electricity. Just electricity. You should love electricity. In fact, you should love electricity in a four-wheeler. What's really nice about EVs and hybrids in general is EV torque, and you know, this thing has 470 foot-pounds of torque for a Jeep, which is great when you need to pass somebody, or like we are right now, I need to get on the freeway and I just need to go fast. There we go. Now we're merging with traffic. So let's focus on being behind the wheel. Yes, you get wind noise. Yes, the ride is anything but smooth, but you know, that's not what the Wrangler's all about. The Wrangler's all about sitting up high and driving over things and maybe wearing a vest and some aviator glasses. The Wrangler's MacGyver. The Wrangler is the official car of MacGyver. Dun, 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 dun. If you want something smooth, something luxurious, you get the Land Rover. You want something that sort of jostles you a bit as you're driving, you get the Wrangler. For those looking at the 4xE as a way to save money on gas, if you charge it at night, it has a 49 mpge, that's miles per gallon equivalent. That's what the EPA rates it. But once you deplete that battery, the mpg of this goes down to about 20 miles per gallon. So that's not great. So what I'm trying to tell you is charge it at night. Always charge this thing at night. If you charge it at night, you're gonna get that savings of a hybrid. If you don't charge it at night, you're just driving around in a regular old Jeep that gets 20 miles to the gallon. While sitting down, the seats are comfortable. Well, more comfortable than I anticipated. Everything is within reach, and what I especially like is all the tactile buttons, like actual buttons and knobs with little rubber bits on them and grooves so you can grab them and turn them and push things and turn things on and off. It's great. Now it also has a infotainment screen that supports Android Auto and CarPlay and blah blah blah, and the latest version of Uconnect is great. It's great, but you know, buttons, yay, buttons. Just because it has all these knobs and buttons doesn't mean it doesn't have the technology that you anticipate from a modern day vehicle. You have adaptive cruise control, which is great. If you have to commute every day, you can just set it, it's stuck behind someone doing 20 miles an hour. And again, about those buttons, what's nice is that the climate controls are mostly buttons, because if you're going off-road or you're hitting a bumpy road or whatever, it's very difficult to use an infotainment system when your hand's bouncing around like this. Jeep does say there's room for 5 in this vehicle, although I wouldn't recommend putting 3 adults in the back seat. It can be pretty tight unless you have 3 children. What is nice is that you can fold your seats down and up. The battery is actually under the rear seats. So this is the giant battery. Putting it here means you still get that large amount of ground clearance, but what it does create is a lip between this area and the rear. So you have this lip between the actual trunk and this of about that much, which isn't ideal. Room behind, cargo space behind these seats is 27.7 cubic square feet. With these down, it's 67.4 cubic square feet. It's not a lot, but it's enough to, you know, maybe a short run to Costco or to put a couple dogs back here that I'm sure will be wearing bandanas. Of course, if you need more room, you can just take the roof off. Now, I was going to do this whole video time lapse where I took the entire roof off this thing, but it's entirely too windy for that. But if you get the soft top, you can do Sunrider, which essentially you just flop the roof back. There's, you know, sunshine for the driver, sunshine for the passengers, and that's the fun of the Jeep. You can take the roof off, you can take these doors off if you want, you can flop down that windshield, you can just make this an open air, well, off-roading machine, or drive around town like that. And as cameraman Dave points out, the Jeep Wrangler is the Mr. Potato Head of vehicles. You can stick anything on this thing. In fact, there are literally thousands of accessories you can buy for a Jeep Wrangler. You can get roof racks, you can get side cases, you can get light bars, you can get lift kits, you can get new wheels, you can get winches, and the list goes on and on and on. In fact, you can even make your Jeep Wrangler look really angry. I don't know why people do that. Is the Jeep angry at the driver? Is the Jeep angry at the world? Who is the Jeep angry at? Maybe don't do that. Have a happy Jeep. Have a happy life. In the early 80s, my uncle owned a blue Jeep Wrangler Renegade. The Renegade. I don't think he owned doors for it. I never saw it with doors on it, and I rarely saw it with the top up. It was outstanding. Even as a little kid, it just being in that thing was great. It was the epitome of the Jeep Wrangler experience. Just open air everything. Take the roof off, the doors off, put the windshield down, and that's what's in this hybrid. You get that sort of Jeep experience in a hybrid. Is it logical for most people? No. Most people are never going to take this thing off-roading, rock crawling, whatever. But it's, how can you not love a convertible vehicle that's also a hybrid, that's also a little bit better for the environment? That's what the 4xe brings to the table: fun. If you like driving off asphalt, you want to drive in nature and actually, well, hear nature, this vehicle can do it. And it does so with a $50,000 price tag. Now, you can also throw some federal tax, local incentives on that, so that kind of helps. But still, you can't put a price on fun. Well, you can, it's $50,000. If you like this video and you want to see more of me driving cars, talking about cars, riding motorcycles, talking about motorcycles, maybe even getting on a train, fingers crossed, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about this vehicle or really any other vehicle that's on the market now, that's on the market in the future, ask me in the comments. I'll try to answer you as best I can. In fact, I get an email for every single comment you drop underneath my video, so I'm reading every one of those, even the bad ones. So like, subscribe, comment, turn that little bell thing on so you get an alert every time I do something, and we'll be best friends as long as you don't try to hug me. Don't